Right behind you, partner.
Oh, your sense of style is uniquely eye-catching. Would you be willing to assist me?
I admit it's quite a story, but I know the difference between a tall tale and a large problem. I'll help however I can.
I shudder to think what your elven circus would consider far-fetched. I'm not so sure I believe it myself.
This is a great area for harvesting.
Greetings, traveler. If you've come to witness the marvels and mysteries of our troupe, I hope you haven't traveled far. Our performance is postponed indefinitely, on account of drama, ironically enough. There's a more sinister mischief in Farmer's Nook than the sort the House of Reveries trades in. I hear of townsfolk disappearing, only to turn up and act oddly. We only set camp recently, but the locals fear we've somehow caused their plight.
None. That farmer Hesef said his sister was among the afflicted, and she died recently. At least he thought she died, but she left no corpse. I must clear the troop's name. With the locals wary as they are, though, I need help. And I can pay. Hesef mentioned that two of his neighbors also had loved ones vanish, Braden DeVoe and Jahuz. Speak with them. They may be more open with a less grandiose traveler. You might also speak with Hesef directly, if you wish.
Any other day, I'd claim to be the lost princess of Piandania and regale you with tales of my exploits, but now's not the time for such frivolities. My fellows and I are entertainers from the House of Reveries, here to perform across all of Tamriel. I've been greatly disappointed with how often I've gotten that question since we departed from Somerset. There's not a soul in the Isles who hasn't heard of the Manor of Masks and its famed performers. But Tamriel will know it soon enough. Theater, conservatory, circus, salon, temple. The House of Reveries wears as many guises as we do. It is the ancestral home of all the performing arts in Somerset, and the world, if you believe some of the sapiarchs. Sleepy little towns like Farmer's Nook are the most in need of an escape from the mundane. We came to offer them some mirth and mystery, but it appears we've been upstaged. Well, our troupe won't be outdone so easily. We have a reputation to uphold. Help, of course. I've devoted my life to liberating people from their troubles, however briefly. And if I can't do that from a stage, then I will take my talents where they are most needed. I may seem a simple thespian to you, but I have had other roles in this life before I found my calling. While I may not count adventurer among them, I'm certain that I am far better prepared to unravel this mystery than these unfortunate folk.
So, working with the mummers. They may seem strange, but you're safer resting at their camp than at the inn. Not to say Braden runs a poor establishment, mind. There's just strangeness afoot in our little village. Folk have been going missing of late, including my sister, Seal. Never for long, a few days. Just enough to plant a worry before they wander back as if nothing happened. But something did. They come back different. Like everything's unfamiliar. Weren't her memory. She could recall details down to where she last left the salt, but acted like she'd never tasted it. She'd bring up things I'd long forgotten as if they'd happened yesterday. Started dredging up old hurts we'd put past us long ago. Can't say. Felt like she wanted to relive the past, good and bad. Don't know what would have brought that on. We lead quiet lives now. Happy lives, I thought. Led, I suppose. She's gone now. If it was even her in the first place. Seal led me to our old swimming hole. Hadn't been there in decades. She dove right in like we did as kids. I looked away before she struck the water. She hit hard. When I screwed up the courage to look, just inky black water. She was gone. That's right. Even with that ink in the pool, I could tell her body weren't there. I searched around the swimming hole, too. Nothing. Not so much as a wet footprint, or even more of that vile ink, like she'd vanished. A lot from our childhood, mostly. If our parents were around, they were deep in the skooma, so Seal and I had to look out for each other. Not so much anymore. The years have been peaceful here. I suppose we'd grown distant before she vanished. No. Maybe. We'd sit down for meals together and tend the farm together, but there's not much to talk about in Farmer's Nook. Another field planted, another day gone by. Was she trying to tell me something? What was she trying to say? We were all a bit shaken by what happened with Igmund, but things were getting back to normal. Until Seal went out to collect logs and didn't return. I begged the others to help me search for her, but they feared they'd vanish too. Truth is, I didn't make it far myself. I thought I heard things in those woods. Even during the day, it felt like something was watching. When she showed up at the house again, I nearly fainted. I should have been relieved, but I felt haunted. Can a ghost take your hand? Make a meal? If she slept, I never saw it. I barely slept myself. The staring was the worst. Felt like she was always watching, smiling. When she'd blink, it was like one eye was a hair shy of the other. Gave me chills.
Ah! Careful! You might have scared the mayor. Who are you? What do you want? You've come about Bugtail. I knew someone would, but my neighbors have kept their distance since he returned. I cannot blame them. I scarcely wish to take him back myself, not after Igmund and Seal, but I couldn't bring myself to turn him away. Yes, or rather, I fear I will share his fate. Bugtail rode out to deliver a horse despite my protest. The gelding returned. He did not. Before I would have been the first to go looking, but I dreaded he'd return, like the others. And he did. Dead, or gone, for now. Even the horses could tell something was wrong with him. I fought with this one's reins as he groomed her, but she started and kicked Bugtail. Ink sprayed everywhere. When I cleared my eyes, it was all that remained. I do not wish to speak of what has happened here, but I will. How many more will vanish and return to haunt us if no one tries to stop it? What is it you wish to know, stranger? In the far-off land of Elsewhere, I was taken by sea elf privateers and sold into imperial slavery. Bugtail had been a slave for many years when I arrived. Like many Khajiit after Queen Eurexia invaded Elsewhere. We bonded because we spoke so little. You may think me a spinner of tall tales, but I swear I speak no lies. Bugtail and I were languishing under the hot sun, digging new metal for the Imperial Queen, when a dragon swooped out of the sky and scorched the land. In the chaos, we ran. I will never forget the sound of those Eurexian soldiers screaming. Truthfully, I do not know what scared me more. Seeing that giant fire-belching beast, or my quiet friend standing at my door like a phantom. I would not have suspected anything amiss had I not known of what happened to Igman and Seal. There was nothing sinister in his look or manner. If anything, he regarded me more warmly than he had in years. Normally, he could go days without a word. He seemed to want to reminisce about our more adventurous days, before we escaped to Farmer's Nook and settled down to raise horses. They were livelier times, but I would not trade them for what I have now.
Hello, what's this? Find anything? Is there something I can do?
We're out of meat and no hot meals. If those are luxuries to which you're accustomed, you can keep on moving and find another inn. What are you, some sort of adventurer? Yeah. Yeah, you look the part. Sorry I was short with you. Since Igmund passed, I've had to work twice as hard and twice as long to run the inn. It's done my manor no favors. Damned fool. He wanted to build a bonfire and drink the night away like we used to. Haven't seen Igmund down mead like that since we were barely men. He lost his legs and tumbled into the fire. Nothing but cinders left by the time I doused the blaze. Not so much of a scrap of clothing. Just black, tarry ashes. Never seen anything throw such a thick black smoke. But it didn't smell like you'd expect. Hair and burned flesh. More like old hay or musty linens. It wasn't natural. I want to know what happened to my brother. Whether he's alive or truly dead. Even if the truth says he really did die in that fire, at least I can put my doubts to rest. What do you wish to know? That's right. He'd gone to get supplies from Gideon. What should have been a couple of days turned into more than a week. I'd begun to fear that he'd been robbed and left for dead on the road, but he wandered back into town like nothing had happened. Said he got lost. As if he hadn't walked that road 1,000 times. I'd have accused him of gambling our money away on toad races, but he had every piece of gold he left with. How do you spend a week lost in the wood and not look worse for wear? Like he didn't have a care in the world. He seemed to be enjoying even the usual drudgery. Never thought I'd miss his belly aching over the chores, but he just didn't seem himself. No. Things were as they usually are in Farmer's Nook, uneventful. It's exciting times when our little inn sees more than a couple travelers in a month. Ever since Igmund got lost, things have been nothing but trouble. Two others disappeared since Igmund, and all three were acting strange before they met untimely ends, if that's even what you could call it. No one wanders from the village now. Some folk are sleeping in my inn just to stick close. That's right. He'd gone to get supplies from Gideon.
Wait a moment, stranger. I need to speak with you. So you're the one's been asking questions about the people who've gone missing, then come back wrong? I don't like involving strangers in our affairs, but my daughter's gone. Not the first time, or even the fourth, that Annis has run off, but, well, You've heard what befell the others. I'm worried she's in real danger. A few days ago, I punished her for neglecting her chores again. She must have snuck out in the night. I couldn't find hide nor hair of her in the morning. She hasn't been home since. She's a stubborn one. But normally she'd have come back by now. I just want to know she's all right. I hate asking a stranger to do this, but no one else has the spine to leave the Nook right now, and I can't go traipsing after that rapscallion like I used to. Will you find Anise and bring her back to me? Our house is just over there, on the west side of town. There may be something among Anise's things that points to where she ran off to, but my nerves are too frayed to see it. I'm at my wit's end. She doesn't want to live here in Farmer's Nook, I can tell you that. That girl's been trying to get out of here since she was old enough to walk. She's still convinced she's going to travel to Abba's Landing and join some pirate crew. It's not like I raised her to embrace a life of piracy. It's those books her father got her when she was young. Filled her head with ridiculous tales of far-off lands, adventures, and riches. I sailed in my younger days. It's not so glamorous. Sailing is days of rope burns and sunburns. It's being tossed about the cabin while a storm rolls your ship. It's bad food, stale water, and wondering if you'll ever make it home. And that's not the life she's dreaming. No, she won't listen. We don't have much, I know. Anise never fails to remind me. Have you found anything that might lead to my daughter? That's just some old handbill Anise had been hanging on to. Months old. Some vessel seeking fresh-faced deckhands that's long since pulled up anchor. I pitched it to the hearth after our last argument. Probably why she left, but not where. When Annie's was little, we couldn't keep her away from it. She'd grab it when we weren't looking and batter the walls and stairs, pretending it was her pirate sword. Drove my husband crazy. I've made do for so long I never bothered to replace it. What's that doing out? Anisa's plan for a fort. My husband built it for her when she was about 6. Well, it must be a moldering wreck by now. Unless... if she hasn't run off to join that elf circus, she might be there. It was east of here, in the hills.
Ah, you're off to find this Annie's girl, then. Tell me what you've learned. I wasn't able to overhear everything. You've been gone for some time. You managed to persuade the locals to share their stories with you, yes? Did their firelight tales share any common themes? Restless phantoms returning to say their last goodbyes before being spirited away once more? This really is beginning to sound like a ghost story. It's all a little too coincidental, don't you think? There has to be a common cause. You and Hesef have been our only visitors at the camp. If Annis has only recently gone missing, there may still be a chance for us to find her before she becomes the latest victim in this ghost story. Do you have any leads? Seeking out a more comforting time, no doubt. Let's hope she hasn't escaped into the arms of a monster. I'll follow your lead. My expertise in stage combat won't do us much good, but I have a few other talents and tricks up my sleeve.
That should come in handy. Let's hit the trail.
footprints coming here and heading somewhere else. Seems our pirate raided the pantry before she left. She planned to be gone a while. I wonder what adventures this tiny sword has seen. A list of departures. Annie's had a mind to travel. I can picture our young heroine, wielding her imagination like a saber and cutting her way through all manner of adventure. I crave adventure and freedom. Play is my only escape. I come here to plan. I fantasize about leaving. Doubt holds me back. I need someone to believe in me. So often I'm alone, but today I have a visitor. Someone I trust. I go with them. I've never been more excited. I believe I have thrust to the heart of the matter. Hear me out. Getting into character, you could say. Preparing for a part is all about understanding my role. How they think, how they feel. Anything and everything about who they are. I have always had a good head for details, and it serves me well as an actress. She's young, or at least young at heart. She's unhappy with her life, but she feels trapped. She has a dream to follow, but she's too scared to go it alone. Only now she's found help. One place to sleep, yet 2 mugs on the crate, both unfinished. And of course, 2 sets of footprints heading south, into the marsh, dancing all the way. The only way forward is to follow in their steps. Shall we dance too? I don't know who Annie's met out here, but the clues suggest that she wasn't in danger. Yet. We shouldn't dawdle. That might very well be the case, though I have to wonder why she'd leave her pack behind if she had no intention to return. I don't like meddling in someone's family affairs, but let's confirm she's all right before we jump to any conclusions. Someone she trusted enough to share a drink with. There's little doubt in my mind that she left with them voluntarily. The question is, was this person really who they appeared to be? We won't know the answer to that until we catch up with them. That might very well be the case.
What do you think you'll make with that?
The tracks lead to this ruin. Did Annie's come here seeking adventure? We should look around. Despite the smell, I don't think that's a funerary urn. The ashes are too fresh. There are bits of paper in this brazier, but most of these books are too soggy for tinder. This book is well worn, but hardly old. Given the subject matter, I'd wager it belonged to Annie's. Well, this is troubling. I believe Annie's came here and performed some sort of ritual, and not the sort conjured from an overactive imagination. Whoever she followed here convinced her to make an offering to this place. I'm certain that well-worn adventure book was a dear possession to Annie's. She wouldn't have torn pages from it for a lark. She burned them in that brazier with her own blood for some ritual purpose. Not yet, but I was a mage of great talent in a past life. If there's any clue relating to what is occurring in Farmer's Nook, I'll find it. There's a good chance Annie's will return to town, like the others. If she does, confront her about this. If Annie's does return to Farmer's Nook, be careful confronting her. The last thing we want is for her to do something drastic and come to harm like those who came before her. Afraid my witty repartee won't be enough to keep me out of trouble? I'm hurt. Trust me when I say I know how to make a dramatic exit when I need to, but if I don't return to town in a short while, assume the worst.
Can I help you with?
Niece, everything all right?
You. Your mother's looked all over for you. Where have you been?
Ugh, I ran away again, all right? Just be glad I came back at all. What's the big deal? This is the 7th time I tried running away in 3 years. Why are they all gawping at me like they're afraid to blink? Do I know? No, I don't know you. Why do you care? And none of those people disappeared. They went after their dreams. I'm not the only one who has those, you know? Nobody wants to be stuck in Farmer's Nook for their whole life. They just didn't want anyone to miss them. It's why I'm here now. I didn't want the last time my mom saw me to be after another fight. But they have to let us go sometime. What? No, it's not like they're buried in a crypt or anything. I'm just trying to say I'm not the only one who felt trapped here. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I don't even know you.
I hate to interrupt, but... may we have a word in private? So, that's Anis Favrod. What do you make of her? How apropos, considering that little library we found is a shrine to Hermaeus Mora. Though I'm still not sure how the Demon of Knowledge fits into this puzzle of ours. Why would Anis consort with it? Perhaps I should have made an offering of my own? It certainly looks that way. I didn't find anything relating to the ritual that was performed at that shrine, but some of those moldy tomes shed a little light on things. The Aelids who used to live out here revered Mora as their principal prince. The shrine we found was simply one of many ruins. I discovered record of another ruin near to Farmer's Nook. If we're dealing with a cult, or some other servants of Mora, it would make the perfect hideaway. What do you say we go check it out? The ruin I spoke of is north of town, not too far. I'll have a word with the innkeeper and Hesef about keeping Anis occupied while we work, but if you wish to speak with anyone else before we head out, I'll wait here. We have reason to suspect that Anis is somehow involved in this mystery. Better to assume she is playing the role of the villain until we know more. Even if she's simply another victim of circumstance, it's safer for everyone that she stay put.